Good evening, families, friends, fellow faculty, loved ones, members of the Board of Trustees, and other distinguished guests. It's great to have you here to celebrate you, the class of 2020. Tomorrow, you're going to ring the bell. And as you do that, I want you to reflect upon the person you were the last time you rang the bell. Your hopes, your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses, and all the ways that you have become a better version of yourself in your time with us. The last time you rang the bell, you announced your presence on campus. Tomorrow, that bell is your shout into the wind that you are on your way, and the world had better watch out. You've proven us that you're ready. After all, you woke up at 4 a.m. to row in regattas. You got up at 5 a.m. to make pastries. You hit the gym at 6 a.m. From 8:45 to 3:15. It went to school, that's right. It went to school. You studied until 10 p.m. You rehearsed until 11 p.m. And the midnight hour often found you returning home from a trip. You sacrificed 8 consecutive Saturdays to wrestle. You killed, you spiked, you pancaked, and you six-packed in volleyball. You ran up the Gate 1 hill, also known as Killer Kelly, at cross-country meets. You ran the Hot Chocolate 5K with girls' leadership. You ran the snack bar. You ran for student council. You depleted the art room of its supplies. You depleted Carmen's of her milkshakes. And you depleted my beard of its non-gray hairs. You should be proud of yourselves. But if you think for one moment that our time together was aimed at creating an awesome resume, you are mistaken. Instead, our time here was centered around creating an environment where you could be your genuine selves, where ideas could flow freely, and where we could all flourish. As you emerge into your adulthood in the coming years, I want you to know that there are 2 games in life. There's the short game, and there's the long game. Now, the short game has winners, it has losers, there's a clear right, there's a clear wrong, and you play by a set of rules that you didn't come up with yourself, right? Playing the short game is helpful. It helps us to perform under pressure, and competition always gets the blood flowing. On the other hand, we have the long game. There are no clear winners. There are no clear losers. There is very rarely a clear right or a clear wrong. You're not competing against other people. You're competing against yourself, because the goal of the long game is growth over time. And finally, you're not playing according to other people's rules. You're playing. You're finding success in the way that you define it for yourself. We at Eagle Hill have been playing the long game with you, and we being teaching faculty, dorm parents, coaches, advisors, the staff of the health center, the staff of dining services, of maintenance and facilities, of the housekeeping staff, the main house staff, college counseling, admissions, the dogs, all the dogs on campus. We've been playing the long game. The short game and the long game can sometimes come into conflict with each other. Let's imagine, if you will, a student who leaves class, is gone for 15 minutes, and then returns with a smoothie. This is a purely hypothetical thought experiment, and not something that's ever happened. Now, as a teacher, I've got to say something, otherwise I should just quit. But I can have a short game conversation or a long game conversation. Short game, I'm going to win, student's going to lose, I'm right, student's wrong. It may be important to have that conversation at that moment with that student, right? That may be the right course of action. And I want you to think about this. If you find yourself in an argument with someone, and you're more focused on winning than on listening, you can win the argument, sure, but you can cost yourself the relationship. It's time you thought about which of those was more important. Back to our purely hypothetical thought experiment. On the other hand, I can have a long game conversation with that student. It might go something like this. I might pull the student aside for a one-on-one conversation. Griffin would never do this, by the way. I might say to the student, hey, have you thought that, you disrespected your classmates back when the rules doesn't apply to you? No, we're not. You don't say no. Have you thought that you disrespected me, my intellectual labor? Have you thought that you maybe disrespected yourself by not embracing that opportunity to focus and maybe gaining a deeper worldview for yourself? That's the long game conversation. Give it up for Griffin. One of these conversations builds a relationship. The other stifles that opportunity. You can see this, right? My life is no stranger to the tension between the short game and the long game. When I graduated high school, I was playing the short game. My first grade in college was a 38 out of 100. It felt like getting punched in the stomach, but I deserved it. I had a quiz in Ancient Greek 101. It was just as hard as you think it is. I was playing short game, so I told myself, I had Latin as a sophomore in high school. I know how classical languages work. Spoiler alert, I did not know how classical languages work. I got 38 out of 100. But at the bottom of my quiz, my teacher wrote the following. She wrote, this is a beginning. This is a beginning. Short game, means long game. It was game on. I knew that I had to step it up, so I would copy down the notes I needed for the week and on a little index card. And then from my half-mile walk from my dorm to the academic building, I would chant that information to the rhythm of my footfalls every day. My goal was to double that 38 to 76, yes, 76, thank you. I wanted to double that score. I was doing that by maybe the start of my junior year. But by the end of my senior year, I ended up writing an honors thesis on Homer's Odyssey. It's one of the things I'm most proud of doing in my life. From that dedication to the classics, with the support of our school leaders, I started the Classics Certificate here. The Classics Certificate is a course of study that encourages, I'm not going to do that. But over the 9 years we've had it, we've awarded the Classics Certificate to 33 students. I'd say maybe 3 times that have taken a class. Their lives and my life would be significantly less enriched if I had just stopped at that 38. If I had just said, I give up, I'm playing the short game, I'll go try something else. In fact, just about every good thing in my life has come from that 38. I attended grad school. I met my wife. I started a fulfilling career. Got to edit a book on Shakespeare. And I had 3 children. Along the way, I've had people in my life who kept me in the long game. My parents, my mentors, my bosses, my faculty mentors, my wife, my friends, with whom I still enjoy a weekly game of Dungeons and Dragons, and you, my students, our students. Thank you for keeping us invested in the long game. Likewise, find people who have your best interests at heart, who are willing to keep your perspective long rather than short. Their opinions should matter to you more than anyone else's. Cling to them. When challenges arise, ask yourself if you're playing the short game or the long game. Opportunities will arise from one, and they diminish from the other. Tomorrow, after you ring the bell, you're going to have something that not a lot of people in life have. That's an Eagle Hill diploma. An Eagle Hill diploma tells the world that you're already playing the long game. And I know this because sitting on stage, we have athletes of the year. We have IB diploma candidates. We have conference champions, honor roll streakers, club leaders, world travelers, language enthusiasts, musicians, stage performers, artists, fashion designers, accomplished equestrians, game fishermen, simmers, Star Wars experts, bodybuilders, park rangers, roboticists, interns at nonprofits, at governmental offices, at companies, small business owners, fundraisers for cancer research, and future nurses, doctors, and yes, teachers. If in any way our labor has made your path smoother, if we have in any way complicated or broadened your worldview, then our effort will have been worth it. Eagle Hill will always be your home. We will always be your mentors. But we are what you grow beyond. Stand on our shoulders. Look to the horizon and lead us there. We need you. Thank you.
Accepting the invitation of the class of 2025 to share your life experiences with them. As a small token of our appreciation is a picture of the PJM STEM Center, Baccalaureate speaker, Eagle Hill School, May 30th, 2020.